Welcome to Smokin Bulls, the podcast about business, money, and lifestyle. Today we're speaking to Dr. Dave Burnham of the Dental Buying Network. I'm Tyler.
I'm Dave.
Let's get into it. So Dave, is it okay if we refer to you as Dave today?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You can do that. My friends usually call me Dr. Burnham, but I'll let you call me Dave.
Perfect. Well, we wanted to chat with you about DBN. We learned about it today through some local people here in Edmonton. The Dental Buying Network is a business that you've started up. Maybe you can describe it to us and what it is exactly.
Sure. Well, I'll go back to the beginning. A little while ago, maybe like a year ago, December, I was trying to look for better pricing in my own practice. I'm a practicing prosthodontist. I have a full-time busy referral-based office, and I was just trying to look at my overhead and get that down and be a good manager. And I was wondering how I could get better pricing. So I started asking around and started looking at different ways to do it. And I kind of thought, well, maybe if me and a bunch of friends group together, maybe if I could get 10 or 20 offices together, then we could work something out. So I started calling friends, and I had a list of friends who wanted to do it. And then the pandemic hit and it kind of all fizzled. And I kind of went and did stuff with my family and didn't really think about it until they called us back to work in May of last year. And I was like, oh, I'll just kind of start thinking about this again. And I mentioned it on a Facebook group for dentists. And I got I can't remember, 80 people private message me within a couple hours saying that they were interested as well. And I went, oh man. So with the pandemic hitting, there was a lot of interest in ways to source out things at better prices. And it also started coming together in my mind, when I would talk to vendors about this, they'd always say, well, yeah, we can give those prices to the corporations, but you have to have a big group of dentists together to come anywhere near that. And I thought, well, that's not really fair. I get it, but wouldn't it be nice if small independent practices could get the same benefits that the big corporations get? And so I kind of started hunting down ways, to use this group that I was developing to create that buying leverage to get that pricing. And that's kind of how it started. I brought on a partner, Bronco Kornhauser, who had years of experience in the industry, and it's just kind of taken off from there. And it's been actually surprisingly successful. And yeah, I'm pretty happy for what we've done so far.
So at its very basic, it's a group purchasing power is what you've created.
Yep. Yeah. So behind the scenes work, what happens is we approach companies and we say, hey, listen, we have X number of dentists that we work with. And if you will give us preferred pricing on goods or services, then we'll present you to our group of dentists as a preferred provider. And almost universally, vendors say yes. So we kind of have our pick of the litter. There are some who say no, but as we grow, the people are reaching out to us more and more. And the neat thing is we found that we didn't have to limit it to just dental products or things that a dental office might need. There's a whole host of lifestyle vendors we have as well. So, talking to dentists, what would you want? I said, well, I'd like a deal on lifestyle stuff, maybe golf courses or whatever, which we don't have, by the way. Maybe that's a bad example.
You're just putting a plug out there.
It's an idea. That's maybe something I should put down on our list. Yeah. But we have some restaurants, car dealerships, Visions Electronics across Canada. We have a crazy deal there, like a really crazy good deal. We've got, what's another national one? Staples. So, and we are about to extend it to staff members as well for certain offices, have a staff benefits package. So a lot of these things will be open for the staff as well as we progress.
Right on. Is it just for dentists right now? Is that who you have on your platform, or is there other medical fields that you're looking to attract? Or
right now we're just in the dental market. Yeah. But we do have some, we're thinking about expanding in the fall. To a dental adjacent field. So gotcha. I can't really tip my hand on that now. But,
to be continued.
Yeah, exactly. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, yes. Yeah.
So in your model, dentists would subscribe to your platform? Is that kind of in essence what happens?
Yeah. So we host a website, and a dentist would get access to the website, which houses all of the information on the deals that we have access to, and as well as how to access them. And so it's a monthly subscription fee that they pay for this access, and then their name gets put on a list with each of our vendors. As a dentist myself, there are certain things that I knew drove me crazy trying to access deals that were in place, like having to sign a contract with a company. Here, sign on the dotted line and we'll give you 10% off, but you have to spend $100,000 with us in the next 3 years. Like, well, I don't want to do that. Okay. So Dental Buying Network does that contract for you. So you don't have to sign a contract with companies, unless there are some companies that offer a deeper discount. If you get more in bed with them, that's fine, but you can get pretty much most of our base discounts without signing any contracts. And it's a month-to-month membership. Other things that really annoyed me is, okay, you can be part of this, but you have to change the way you order. So you'll get a big discount if you work with us, but you have to order in this weird way. I didn't like that. So we've tried to set up all of our deals so that you're ordering pretty much the way you normally would order. So we tried to address it from a dentist perspective, and the things that drove me crazy about dealing with companies, we try and deal with for the dentist or for the person doing the ordering or whatever. So we try and make it as easy and seamless as possible. Nice. And if we're not doing a good job of that, we want to hear about it, because we want to make this, easier and better. That's the whole goal. Save money on things you already buy in a convenient way.
And how are you finding dentists who subscribe? You'd mentioned that immediately your Facebook group was, 80 people strong right out of the gate. Going forward, do you have boots on the ground, somebody going around knocking on dentists' doors saying, here's what we can offer you? Or are you just word of mouth right now? What's driving dentists to you?
So up until this month, we've been word of mouth, and we've had pretty good organic growth. We've got around 140 offices right now across the country that are part of our group. But we think we're underperforming based on our platform, based on what we actually offer and the savings that people can realize. In my practice, I use the Dental Buying Network a lot, obviously, right? Because it's my baby. And I've probably in the first years easily saved, I can't remember that first deal, $40,000 to $60,000.
Wow.
Easily. And, but that's because I use it a lot. And most offices, our goal is to have them save at least $20,000. We're shooting for like a 10 times return on investment is what we're shooting for the dentist. So we want to make it a no-brainer. And with most offices, in a quick 5-10 minute call, we can show an office really quickly how their yearly fee to be part of the group is dealt with by one vendor. And we have 69 vendors right now. So there's lots of different opportunities to save. And then we can also coach them as they go through, or coach their ordering people on where they can shift, or what companies they're not taking advantage of in order to get their deals and discounts even better. And beyond that, if people are interested, we've got companies on board to help them grow their practice, or like you guys, like to grow their wealth. So we've got lots of different things, and they're vetted to be high quality companies that provide good service and products. And we can help practices find these things and coach them along the way if they're interested. And so we think we're doing a really good job. And when we've done surveys with our members, well over 90% are ecstatic with the product. So, and they're saving money, like a lot of money. So we know that we're doing good things for the people who sign up. Our big problem is visibility, is that because it's been, I use the Facebook groups and that kind of thing, but a lot of it has been word of mouth, and dentists are rightly a skeptical group. So they want to see proof of concept, which we can now provide. We've been up and running for almost a year now, and we've got lots of good success stories.
So a year might not be long enough for you to put a number on this, but what is your typical percentage savings? Do you turn it into a percentage savings for a dentist who, like yourself, employs a lot of the DBN people in the network? is that if your overall cost for your practice, let's say was, $500,000 and you were saving 60, you can put a percentage to that as in terms of what percentage you're saving. Have you ever, queried your members as to what their cost savings are?
Well, we did just get some numbers from one of our vendors today, and with one of our vendors that we use, I don't really want to say which one.
No, you don't have to. Yeah.
Privileged information, but we know that we've saved, the savings of our membership has been 21% for the year so far.
Well, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, with their group. And it equates to about $700,000 in savings in the first, they didn't sign up right away, so it's been about 9 months with them. Mm-hmm. It's about $700,000 savings with our group of 100 and some odd practices, right?
Right.
So, that's like real money.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
That's real good. And so we know that it's working out. And that's just one of our vendors. One of our other deals that we have, we know for sure that our membership gets at least about 3% back on a rebate, more than they would get without us. So we can get another 3% there. So now, you're up to 24%. And then we've got all these, like I said, 69 different vendors. So it really depends on how much of the network you want to use. There's a lot to explore. And actually right now we're revamping our website to make that exploration process a little bit easier. And we're creating some templating for ordering staff and things like that as well. So we just know we have something amazing and we want people to access it.
Yeah.
We work, I would call it externally with you from the sense that we're not a direct provider to dentists or dentist practices, but from a wealth management perspective, we know our business and what our specialty is and the type of clients that we work with best. For us, we know what we'd be getting as a client. So it's easy for us to know our economies of scale and say, you know what, if you're part of the network, we'll cut our fee. And we don't cut our fee very easily at all. We cut our fee based on volume, on size. So it's not like we're getting 20 dentists that come together from your practice that are already with us, and all of a sudden we got to drop our pants a bit here. These are new clients to us, whereas some of the people you're dealing with vendor-wise already, these are all their clients, and you're basically going back and saying, so those are intangibles that you can't even measure for your average dental practice, how much they're truly saving. Eventually as we build up working with you, we'd be easy enough for us to provide you with a grand number and just multiply our fee deduction. And that would be applicable to what your members are saving from wealth advisory fees, which is easy enough for us to generate that without disclosing anybody out there. But I think it's just the power of people. It's a great concept to work with for this.
Well, and this is the progress that we're going to make. So the company continues to evolve. The core mission is going to stay the same. It's going to be to help dentists be competitive, to save money, to keep costs low, to grow their practice if they want. It's about keeping the playing field level with the big corporations that have all these resources and abilities that we haven't had up till now. So that core focus will stay there, but we're growing things out. And so what you're talking about is exactly what we're going to be able to do soon, is we'll request reports from the companies we work with, and we'll be able to quantify all the savings. And we'll be able to show, on paper, like if we got $700,000 in the first 8-9 months with one company, we're going to be doing millions of dollars in savings a year with the people who work for us, or work with us rather. So, and the nice thing is for us, what we're trying to do is set up a win-win-win. The primary win has to be the dentist, right? So we want the dentist to come out of it with more money in their pocket so they can keep paying their staff competitive wages, so they can keep their doors open, so they can, keep saving for retirement, all those things in a more effective way. We want to win for our vendors who work with us, because we want to help you guys. We only work with vendors that we feel are going to add value and that we want to see successful as well. So we want it to be a success for you. And we feel if we do those two things well, then we deserve to have a win for the dental buying network as well, so that we can stay around and continue providing the service for a long, long time to come.
Makes sense. If everybody's winning, why wouldn't you be involved?
Exactly. And my hope is that it's a no-brainer. It's something that people believe. I hope people believe in my sincerity, that this is really something that I'm doing to help. I had someone close to me during the pandemic who went bankrupt, a dentist. And it really highlighted to me the importance of this kind of thing. If we could have been there as a group to support someone like this, to help find ways to cut costs or to coach them or something like that 6-12 months earlier, he probably could have kept his practice, right? And these kind of stories, there's been a lot more of them in the past few years, and it's going to be harder for small independent practices to operate in the dental climate with the upcoming rise of corporate dentistry, because they're just a powerhouse. It makes sense. Like the economies of scale that a small practice alone can't compete with. I mean, it's not like they're evil. It's economics, right? So we have to band together to maintain our independence. That's kind of what became very clear to me as I went about this process.
Are there barriers to entry as a dentist trying to get on the DBN network? Because you mentioned that, as an example, you have a supplier that would make you sign a contract. Maybe it's a 3-year contract, and now you're hooked into this contract. So if a dentist comes and sees DBN, are they stuck? Sort of, they maybe can join the network, but they can't buy certain products because they have a contract with a supplier already on externally. Is that an issue? Kind
of, yes. If they're under contract, like an equipment contract, there's in dentistry. Any dentist watching this knows that they can get a discount or free equipment from their dental supply company if they sign a contract to spend X amount of dollars over a certain number of years. Now, then it would be up to the individual practitioner to decide, to run the numbers and say that we can help them run the numbers even in certain circumstances, but they can say, is it worth it for me financially to buy out my contract now and start saving on the DBN the dental buying network, right?
Right.
So there are case-by-case situations where they might stick with their previous contract because either it's too much of a headache or they don't have the cash on hand to buy out the equipment right away or whatever. But like I said, we've got 69 vendors. So there's going to be lots of areas that we're going to help them with, even if they have to stick with a supply company.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sounds like our business. You need a calculator. Yeah. Website calculator. People can punch in their numbers and it could just go.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about having 69 vendors and growing is that there's lots of ways to help people save. Lots of ways we can make an impact. The bad thing is that there's lots of things to look at and lots of analysis that we need to do to help guide people. And we know we'll save you money. Like usually we focus on 10 vendors when we talk to a dentist and try and find 10 areas, and maybe 4 or 5 of them will be the low hanging fruit that are no brainers for them. And then we can get them up and running on those ones right away. And then they can explore the offering at their leisure after that. Right. So.
Yeah. And then how do you guys find your vendors, the people that join the network? Do you have people coming to you wanting to be a part of the network? Are you out there looking for, or you have dentists saying, gee, I wish there was a travel agent on here. Can you guys find somebody like that? Like, how are you adding your vendors?
All of the above.
All of the above, yeah.
We've got national partners. So like a travel agent, I don't know. Probably by the time this airs, we'll have signed up Expedia, for example. We're talking with them actively right now, and a major cruise line as well. And so some of them we approach. We want to offer that, so we look at the best companies and see who we can work with. Some of them, as we talk to dentists and they look at what we're offering, they say, "Oh, have you talked to this company?" And we'll say, "Oh, no, we haven't." So we do it, and it's actually a surprisingly easy sales pitch to the vendors, because like you guys know, dentists is a group that's pre-qualified. That everyone knows that dentists come with a certain amount of income and that they're going to be able to afford the product, right? So we have a deal with Mercedes-Benz just right now in Edmonton. We're working hopefully to get a national one, crossing our fingers on that. But, they know that a dentist is more likely than someone else, than an average person to come and purchase a Mercedes. So it makes sense for them to work with us because we'll have a certain number of pre-qualified buyers looking at their product. And then right now what we've found as we've grown is we're getting more and more companies approaching us and approaching us organically and saying, hey, we want to work with you. We want to work with you. And then we have to kind of vet their products and see what we think. And it's actually the dental side. That's a lot of what I find I'm doing lately is I'm actually buying products that I sometimes don't need just so I can try them out. Sometimes I get free samples, but a lot of times I just want to buy it and then give it a go so that I can say yay or nay on certain products and then actually speak authoritatively on what we're offering. So make sure it's a minimum acceptable standard, right?
Right. It passes the Dr. Dave Burnham test.
Yeah, for what's that worth? I don't know, but
you got to come up with
that I'm not hawking something that I don't believe in.
Yeah, you got to have a stamp or something that you can put on these guys. And
at some point, some of the dentists might be using something that you've tried you don't think is great, but maybe they're using it in their practice and they think it's great.
As a prosthodontist, I'm pretty opinionated on that kind of stuff, so I probably tell them that. Like, no, you got to switch.
That's good. So you got a good opinion to direct it there. Yeah.
Excellent. How would we find you, or how would a vendor find you, and how would a dentist find you? Is it just your website, or what's the best way to look you guys up?
Yeah, so www.dentalbuyingnetwork.com, all one word, dentalbuyingnetwork.com. And on the website, there's you can book a walkthrough, for example. On the top of it, you'll see book walkthrough or join the network. So you can click either of those two links. The walkthrough is where Bronco, my partner, he's really an expert. He's got almost 30 years in the dental industry on the vendor side. And he knows these companies like the back of his hand. So with a few easy questions, he can walk you through and show you what our offering is and how you can save money for the dentist. And then, essentially, like I said, we want it to be a no-brainer, and we feel it should be a no-brainer for the vast majority of people. Otherwise, we've presented at the ODA, the Ontario Dental Association meeting, the Pacific Dental Conference, the Edmonton District Dental Society. So we present at various meetings throughout the year, and we'll continue to do that. And we have a new marketing director on board, and we're kind of crafting a new presentation formulary as we go on. So year 2, there'll be some updates as to how we present ourselves. And we also are just starting up this month with a sales team actually it's just this week. So we, like I said, we did organic growth. We wanted to have measured growth the first year, so that we didn't, grow faster than we could handle. And as we go forward, we may be actually capping the number of new members that we accept per month, just to make sure we can provide a high quality service offering as we go forward. We do expect this to be a really robust group in short order, now that we're kind of opening the floodgates with our new ventures out with our sales team and with our new marketing director. Because like I said, our feedback from our membership has been great. We know we're saving people big money. Once we get the word out appropriately, like once we open those floodgates, we think we'll have a really, really, really robust response. And the cool thing about that is the more people believe in what we're doing and join in as part of the group, the more negotiating power we get with our vendors. So that means more, like, bigger discounts or more add-ons, better services, or different companies joining on that may not have been interested before, but suddenly, see how valuable independent dentistry can be in Canada.
That's great. And it's obviously working. I mean, to have 140, I think you said, private offices already signed up in your first year without really trying to grow and get the word out, as you say, I think that's fantastic growth. If I'm a vendor, find you the same way? Go to the dentalbuyingnetwork.com and reach out through that website?
Yeah. Yeah. And
if I think I've got a product
we respond
offer.
usually pretty quickly. There's a chat function there and things like that. So if a vendor's interested, they could do that. That's what I would say would be the best way to do it.
Perfect. Okay, Dr. Dave Burnham, thanks very much for joining us to chat about the Dental Buying Network today and sharing your thoughts on it and how it's helping dentists around Canada.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Thanks for watching this episode of Smokin Bulls. If you want to learn more about us, go to smokinbulls.com or follow us on social media.